Phones are lifesavers, but it is dangerous to your child when you make screen time become all the time. Let me explain. Hello, mommies and daddies, uncles and aunties. Welcome back to Auntie Kudi TV, where we gist about kids, chaos, and raising them right. If you are new, hi, I'm Auntie Kudi, your soon-to-be favorite auntie on the parenting street. And today we are talking about something that will change how you connect with your child. We have evolved into a digital world where phones are part of our lives. We use it for learning as much as entertainment. So, I won't sit here and tell you to scrap screen time for your child. No. But I want you to know that when screen time starts replacing creativity, movement, and real connection, we need to gently bring back balance. Substituting screen time is not to shut it all off, but to create other options for your child to thrive. The reality is, you give phones to your child when you want them off your back, or you want some leisure time to yourself to do something, one thing or another. But if you're not careful, this will become a regular and normal thing for you. That will not give room for you to, give your child other options that will spark up the same joy that screen time would give them. Some other things that will spark that same joy in them. When screen time is too much, they get addicted, they get to live by the principle of what they see. And when what they see is not so good for them, then it becomes a problem. You see what I'm saying? Substituting screen time recognizes the fact that screen time is essential. But then, it is advising that screen time should not be the only thing your child does. So, here comes the introduction of other things that your child can do aside the screen. If you want to spark the same joy that screen time sparks in your child, if you want to spark that same joy in your child, then you need to use stories. You know how when we were growing up, we will sit down in a courtyard, in a front yard, and have someone tell us stories. It could be our parents, it could be our grandparents, tell us stories that have happened before, those that are fab and those that are real, and all of that. Children still need these stories. You can decide to tell stories to your child. You can decide to buy them a book. You can decide to employ their skill of story writing. Either ways, you are teaching them to use stories to spark joy in them, so that in their leisure time, they can decide if it is screen they want to go for, or they want to read a book, write a story, or as the case may be. Another thing is indoor activities. In the case where you have a little bit of time on your hand, and you and your child, you are at home, maybe at weekends, maybe on the holidays, and instead of just staring at your child like this, or you pressing the phone and have your child looking at it, or you giving your child the phone to watch some cartoons or something like that, you can develop indoor activities. Play games. Bring out a game. It could be a board game. It could be you fabricating a game between you and your child. It could be word games. It could even be baking. You can just make, do an activity in the house that will spark up joy in your child instead of using the screen. Another thing that can spark up joy in your child, as much as screen time will do, is to make them useful. A child likes to feel, useful. They like to feel among. They try to feel, doing something. They try to feel carried along in something. That is why your 3-year-old will want to watch his or her socks, or wash his or her panties herself, and you'll be dragging it together because he or she cannot wash it. So, how to make them useful? You can, after washing the clothes, you can make them fold the clothes. Teach them the way to fold it. They can fold the smaller ones. Do something together, that will make them feel present, feel in the act. You could be cooking and ask them to be passing stuff to you. Maybe you have the ingredient lined up on the table and you're asking them to pass it to you. You could go do gardening together, with the grounds, or maybe you have a small farm in the house. You can go do it together. Maybe you want to plant, ask them to count three corns or whatever it's seed you want to plant, ask them to put it into the hole you have dug, and then you close it up. That way you're making them useful, and then you're taking them away from the screen time. And if you ask if this will do the same thing that screen time does, the answer is yes. Another thing that can spark joy in your child is to enroll them in a skill. Yes, this is majorly advisable during the holiday where they have a lot of time on their hand. You cannot possibly be, folding clothes with your child all the time, cooking with your child all the time. You have to make sure that that period of time where they are not going to school is useful and valuable to them. So make them learn a skill. It could be an online skill. It could be, you taking them to register at a skill center. It depends on their age, actually. There are a lot of online classes. Even when it comes to, children cooking, baking, writing, you can enroll them, find a skill online, enroll them in this skill. The moment, make sure that it is something that they have interest in. Make sure you know your child so well, and you know that if they learn this skill, they would love to learn it. If you notice that your child likes to be with you in the kitchen, likes to ask, "Mommy, what is the name of this food? What did you make it with?" or things like that, then you definitely need to register them in a cooking class or a baking class. If your child has this enthusiasm for fashion, for dresses, you can enroll them in maybe illustration classes if they are not, yet grown up to learn to sew, learn to use a sewing machine. Or the best skill for children, enroll them in story writing. Kids are generally known to have this big imagination for things. They can imagine, they can explore with their minds. So enroll them in story writing. Let them learn the art of story writing. Another skill is art and crafts. Art and craft, the making of ant fan, the making of beads. All these things can spark joy in your child as much as screen time will do. Now, something else I would like to talk about that will spark same joy as screen time will do for your child is outdoor activities. Yes, outdoor activities. Engage your child in outdoor activities. In the society we have now, children are generally known to be camped in the house for security purpose. Yes, but then once in a while you need to make them see the environment, make them just go outside instead of just being with their phone gazing at the screen from morning till night. These outdoor activities will include a simple walk. You can decide to go on a walk with your child. Just walk from a little distance depending on their age. You can just take a stroll, you get. And then if you are the type that goes out to buy something, you can just walk to maybe where they're selling something with your child, buy something, go there to buy something, then come back home. The moment of you walking like that, it can spark a conversation between you and your child. Maybe you need to know something they are not telling you, you need to ask them something, and maybe probably their siblings are at home, or you just want them to feel like it is you and them. So you can take them on a walk, on a quiet street, walking, and then you just start the conversation. You can also take your child to visit a neighbor or a friend or a family. Yes, this is also one of the outdoor activities that you can employ, like the weekends, the holidays. Even when you don't feel like going out all the way like that, you can just take a simple walk to your neighbor's place with your child, and then you just simple courtesy of checking up on them. Just check up on them, and with your child you just go help you're good and all of that. If you decide to go in, it is fine. If you decide to just say you're passing by, that is also fine. See, reducing screen time isn't even about being strict with your child. It is about giving your child what they truly need, which is your presence, your creativity, and the exploits of the real world around them. They are so much engrossed in their screen that they think that is the world. But no, they have to get to know the real world outside. But don't substitute screen time suddenly. Just reduce their screen time by bits. You can use one of the activities I mentioned. You can use it for 1 month, and then gradually you add more. It does not even have to be perfect. Just be intentional about substituting screen time for your child. If this message spoke to you today, go ahead and hit the like button, share with your parents, and let's talk in the comments. Which screen-free activity does your child presently enjoy, or which one will you like to incorporate this week? Thanks for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Give my love to your shams.